guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's color transformations featuring Pulp Riot. I hope everyone is having a great week so far. And I will be featuring none other than my favorite liquid Demis in this video. So here's my beautiful client Mijin. She wants to go a lot blonder, so I did back-to-back foils to maximize blonding. And I'm going to be toning with the liquid Demis. I'm going to be mixing up 7.0 with Developer for her root. For her lighter formula, I'm going to be using 9.2, so I do about a 3/4 of an ounce of 9.2, and then a 1/4 of an ounce of 9.1, and then a little over an ounce of clear. And I mix that with Developer 1:1. Here you can see I lifted Mijin to about a level 9 all over. There's that nice clean lift with 20 vol. This is honestly my favorite part, pulling out the foils, because you see all the hard work that you did. It's just so satisfying seeing how blonde it is and even. So I've already prepped Mijin's hair with Budapest clarifying shampoo, and then I brushed out her hair with Tokyo conditioner and then rinsed that out completely, towel dried her, and now I'm applying her root color. I sectioned out that money piece hairline because I'm going to be toning that after I finish the root everywhere else, because I want that piece to be the brightest. And there you can see I'm taking that front section a little bit behind the ear so that when I get to the back, I just take that whole back section as a whole, and it just saves me a lot of time when I'm toning the hair. So after I apply those front two sections, I go in and lightly tap the money piece root just so that it blends a little bit better. And here you can see how I'm taking that back section as a whole, and it just saves me a lot more time. So now I'm brushing out the root shade and getting ready to apply the lighter toner. So mixing that up and then applying it with the bottle, taking sections and fully saturating. And here is the finished look for her. Look how nice and ashy and blonde it is. Nice and blonde, and definitely her next session she will be a lot blonder. We'll work on getting some of those warm pieces out and overall just being a nice brighter blonde. So yeah, this is Mijin's second session with me, and typically this is what it looks like when you're trying to go blonder from such a dark natural color. So the maintenance on this would just be she would need to come in, if she wants to be a little bit blonder, a little sooner to brighten up everything up one more time, because she wants to be more of a brighter blonde. And then after that, she'll just need to come in for her roots and a toner. These toners I feel like last a little bit longer than some other toners that I've used. Typically I would tell my clients that toners would last about 6 to 8 weeks, but honestly I feel like these toners could last a little bit longer with the right products. And here's my next client, Julia. She is wanting to blend her roots out. She kind of wants to grow out her roots a little bit longer, so we're going to work on keeping more dimension this time when we refoil her. But here I just took out some weight from her hair and kind of dusted the ends off, and then we're going to go in and do some subtle highlights. So here I'm just picking out the dark that I left last time I highlighted her hair, and since she wants to have a more darker root, I'm leaving more space in between my highlights than I did last time, and definitely picking out those blonde pieces and only highlighting what is dark to maintain the health of her hair. And since this section is more of the underneath, I am doing more of a chunkier highlight, and then as I work my way towards the crown and the top of the head, I will be doing a slightly thinner highlight. I also think it's super helpful to work in really clean sections and doing the chunkier highlight in the back and the bottom, because it's easier to visually see where you highlighted last and only highlight what is necessary. For Julia's root shade, I'm going to be using 9.0 and 7.0 with Developer 1:1, mixing that into a bowl. And then I'm going to be mixing up 1/2 ounce of 9.1 into a bottle, a little over an ounce of clear, and then 1/2 ounce of 9.2 with Developer, of course. And again, mixing this 1-to-1 with color and developer. Also guys, I'm like super obsessed with the packaging of these new liquid Demis. They're just so cute. So once Julia's foils were done processing, time to rinse them out and prep her for the liquid Demis. And again, starting in the top, leaving out that front hairline money piece, and working my way towards the back. I think one of my favorite things about these new liquid Demis is how smooth it leaves the hair. It's super easy to brush out and spread along the hair compared to some other color lines that I have used in the past. It's like really nice gel consistency, and it's pretty conditioning to the hair, which is something new. So I really love, and this helps with the toning process. So we didn't take any pictures because Julia likes to leave her hair wet, but she was able to send me some photos that she took later, and look at that beautiful tone of blonde and shine. Moving on to the next one, this is my client Anna, and she likes to be a bright blonde. So we're going to do some highlights and then do a nice chunky money piece because she likes to feel as bright as possible right in the front. So for Anna's money piece, I like to just take back-to-back slices on her hairline, and I'll do about 4 of these so that she has a nice chunky piece. When highlighting Anna, it's super important for me to take really clean sections so that I'm able to pick out the pieces that I left out last time so that her ends can stay solid, and it's easy for me to re-brighten everything if I need to at the bowl. And even though this can take a little bit more time because it's more detailed, it does pay off in the end because you won't have any weird dark or warm patches. And look how beautiful she lifted with Blonde AF and 20 Vol. I lifted her to about a level 10, and then I'm going to go ahead and prep her for the toner. And I really love using Blonde AF on my clients who are blonde because it doesn't swell in the foils and it stays put. So for Anna's liquid Demi formula, I used 9-1, 9-2, 9-3, and clear. I didn't do a root shade because she likes to be bright all over, but I did apply this formula at the root first and then worked my way towards the mids and ends so that the root toned first. And the reason why I like to use a little bit of the 9-3 is so that it doesn't go too ashy and it remains that nice bright buttery blonde that she was wanting. So this is my next client, Nadia, and she is a lightener retouch client. And here you can see she has very baby roots. And this is probably about like 4 weeks. She wanted to come in a bit earlier. I let her come in ranging from like 4 to 6 weeks, but she chose 4 because she wanted to get her hair done before her birthday. So I just take really thin sections, and because her root is such a baby root, I don't have to use cotton in between. I only do that if her root is a little bit longer to prevent any overlapping. But yeah, I just take really thin sections and make sure that I'm like super careful when applying the lightener and only apply to her regrowth. So here you can see I've already applied all of her root on the back, and when I apply the back section, I like to start at the very top and work my way towards the bottom because I want that section on the very top to be the brightest. And the hairs on the very bottom of her neck are a little bit finer, so those will process a little bit faster and get more even. And it's helpful to start the whole process in the back so that I'm able to rinse out the back before the front is ready. So here you can already see I rinsed out that back quadrant, and I'm now beginning to rinse the front quadrant as those roots are ready. So for Nadia's color, she wants to be a nice lilac color, so I'm mixing up Pulp Riot's Rapid Toners. I'm using the Violet Toner with 6 Vol 1 to 1.5, and I start by applying to her root all over and try to apply this quite quickly because these toners process pretty fast, but they are really pigmented too, and I do let them sit for the full because they will look a little bit darker, and then when you rinse them out, if you rinse them out too fast, it does get a lot lighter. So Just make sure these toners that you let it process for the full or whenever you feel like it's ready. And there you can already see that the toner in the front that I applied first, it already processed that quick, but it shows a lot of pigment. But if you were to pinch the hair, you could see that it still needs a bit more time. So once that's all done, I like to just leave this on for the full like 10-15 minutes and then rinse it out. Also, when mixing these toners, I like to mix a little bit extra so that I'm able to go back in and just make sure I'm cross-checking and saturating all of the hair and not missing anything. I really love these rapid toners because they work super fast and they create like the most perfect pastel color. You can see how beautiful that is wet, and here is the finished look for Nadia's hair. This violet toner, it is a little bit more on the pinker side, but I feel like it's like the perfect lilac shade. So yeah, that's it for this week's video. If you guys want to see anything cool in the upcoming weeks, let me know in the comments below, and catch me next week for a new video.